I am so pleased to have this woman on the radio with me. You are doing some amazing things in your community. Her name is Shavonna Johnson. She is the CEO, and we're going to find out what this is, the YWRAP, and founder of the Whitney E. Johnson Foundation. She's also the CEO and CFO of All About Us Youth Magazine. Welcome to the program, Shavonna. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just humbly grateful to be here with you, to be speaking to you.
Girl,
I have admired you for so long.
It is my pleasure to chat with you, my dear. And I want to thank your publicist, Deb Bailey, who is just a love, for having you on, because she knows how I am. And when there are people in the communities around the country that are doing things, we need to showcase them and let folk know that you're there. So first of all, tell everybody about Miss Shavonna. Tell us about you. Where are you from?
I am originally from Delmar, Maryland, the lower eastern shore of Maryland, but I live now in Long Island, New York, with my husband and two sons. I met him in college, and from college we've been together ever since. We've been together 30 years. So God, it's a blessing, and I love me. I love what I'm doing. I'm working with the youth, and I'm very excited about it. I'm a little nervous
Girl,
to be here.
Don't be nervous. It's just me. It's just you and I, Shavonna. You're just going to tell us about what you're doing in Long Island. And where did your passion come from working with the young people?
I went to school for social work, and I've always loved working with people. I originally started in healthcare. I was in home healthcare, working in management, working with seniors and disabled. And I had a car accident, and then I had a second car accident, which actually put me out of work. And so I had to kind of redefine myself. And in redefining myself, you hear the true passion that is within you, where you've always been meant to be. So I started mentoring young women here. That is YRAP, Young Women Rising Above Perceptions.
Oh, that's what YRAP means. Okay, I knew you were going to tell me what that meant. I'm CEO of YRAP. Okay. And it's Young Women, say it again?
Young Women Rising Above Perception.
Rising above perception. I just absolutely love that, because our young people, if they don't get the leadership that they need and they deserve, we are going to lose an entire generation to stupid.
Yes.
And they don't have to be stupid. They don't have to be and I remember when I was growing up, we had women in the community that taught us how to be young ladies, how to conduct ourselves, how to act. They had men that they could emulate. The guy, even the drunk guy. We had a man called Henry Lee that took his hat off and saluted us on our way to Sunday school when we were little kids. He'd be drunker than Cooter Brown, but how y'all doing this morning, young lady? Y'all be careful not going across that street now. He'd be drunk as I don't know what. Now it's like everything goes. What are you doing with your program, and how is it being set apart? How are you different from, any of these other youth programs?
Well, the one thing that we do with YRAP, the goal is to really touch their inner spirit, because we don't define ourselves by the physical being of who we are. We define ourselves by the physical inner being of who you're meant to and called to be in this world to fulfill your destiny.
Mm-hmm. Now, wait a minute. I want to go back to, you said that you were in social work. You had a car accident, then you had another car accident, and then you got laid out so that you could see where your passion was. When you look back at it in retrospect, did it seem like, okay, God had to flatten me out from 2 car accidents so I could get to what my purpose is, and now I'm paying attention?
Well, I kind of thought that at that time, when you're going through all of that, it's like, God, what am I supposed to do now? Everything that I've worked for, everything that I was driving to, what am I supposed to do with me? I don't want to I have never been a lazy, daisical person. I've always been working 2-3 different jobs, and now it's like you're on your back and you're looking at 4 walls for almost a year and a half, and you're wondering to yourself, what am I supposed to do now? What is my purpose? What is my real destiny? Where am I supposed to be? And you just look at all that in retrospect, and in my journaling and all of that, my passion really started, to come. It's always been there, but you know how you always push aside Mother Love for things that happen. You have to work, you have to do this, you have kids, you're married, and blah, blah, blah. But you never look at that real passion, that real desire, that driven, that was always driving you to go to that one thing that you wanted to do. But now you look at where you are. It was something in you that you always envisioned in yourself, to see yourself where you are. And you were just lucky to tap into it. So we are all lucky, even at some points, to tap into what that real passion is. Some people don't get to do that.
And no, they won't do it because it looks too big. It looks too impossible. Where am I going to get the money? A lot of people will talk themselves out of success because it doesn't look right. But when I believe when you have faith and you trust in that faith and you stand on that faith, I always say this: the universe will open up and conspire for your success, especially when you're stepping into your purpose. You don't know where it's going to come from, how it's going to do, but did you notice that everything started to manifest itself and to come to you? I mean, when you started the magazine, tell me the story of how you started the magazine, which I absolutely love. Okay, I read the whole thing.
Oh, thank you. We have the new one. The actual launch of the magazine is coming up in October. But how the magazine came about is I was in the grocery store, and my husband always thinks I'm crazy because I'm always standing there looking at the magazine rack. Sometimes God just, you just look at stuff, and it's like, and I kept looking, and I'm saying to myself, what about our young people? How can we connect and talk to them? Because when I talk to the young people, they always say, Ms. Johnson, nobody's listening. Nobody wants to take a minute to hear the pain that we're going through, what we're going through, how we're going through it, how we're going to deal with it. They always shift this around, but they're not listening. So how the magazine came about was after we launched the Whitney Johnson Foundation. I said, God, if this is just one way that I could really communicate with the youth and help connect with them, to inspire them, for number one, to read. A lot of our youth don't like to read. They don't like to write. They don't like to communicate other than social media. I want to be able to create a platform for them to really communicate, to talk about the issues, talk about their concerns, because so many of our youth are going through similar issues, that one of them who has really got out and really tapped into their vision and is inspired and driving their passion can reach back and teach another one that has had similar issues to talk about their issues, or come collaboratively so we can help them get the help that they need. So the magazine was really driven to encourage young people, for them to see themselves, for them to see the beauty that is within them, because every child is beautiful and unique and different. But we wanted to, every quarter there will be a different young lady or a different young man on the magazine to tell their story. So, I always say to them, everybody is not Hollywood. Everybody's not the First Lady of the United States. Everybody's not Beyonce. Everybody's their own individual, which young people need to realize and see themselves as the individuals that they are.
And that they are special. When you say that they say nobody's listening, what are some of the issues that are coming up when you're talking to the young people? Because, see, I just want to give them all a whooping and tell them put their pants up, and if they don't stop using all that cussing, I'm going to smack them myself. But you just can't go around striking other people's children.
Oh, I feel you, love. Some of the things that I'm dealing with, especially within, let's start. Each diverse group has their issues. The girls, I'm dealing with a lot of molestation. I'm dealing with rape. I'm dealing with abuse. Dealing with single mothers. I'm dealing with mothers having babies, which is you're dealing with the mother and you're dealing with the grandmother, and then the baby who's trying to really focus and not be in the same situation that grandma and mom is. And then with the young men, we're facing so much anger, the violence, just gangs, and just trying to find that footing of a man that will be in their life to be an inspiration and a mentor to them is really hard. And I'm finding that most of the young kids, for some reason, they flock to us. I'm humbled and honored at that because, you know, we can always intervene and find someone that will be able to help them and mentor them. But finding a lot of it has to do with anger, just anger and frustration.
What are they saying they're angry about? Because, you know, we got a lot of young black men in my family, and, you know, when I go back to Ohio and visit, and, you know, they're all, and I'm like, honey, what are you why are you so mad? And and some of them, more often than not, will say, I don't know why I'm mad, I'm just mad. Do you think that they just really don't know and they're frustrated about the situation, or deep down they know why they're angry? Because 90% of these guys, I want to even go as far as saying 99% of these guys are angry because their fathers are not in their life. They're angry because they don't have that familiar foundation. They don't have that mom and dad, you know, the extended grandparents, the extended aunts and uncles. They don't have that safety net that they see other people having, even though they don't know what's going on inside of their homes. But they see that safety net, and they want that. And that's why I think a lot of them gravitate to these gangs, because at least, you know, like they say, if you don't talk to your child, and somebody else will. Do you think that when it strips away, that could be a big significant part of their anger?
I think it is a big part of it, yes. I also think, you know, we had this conversation today, a lot of people tend to blame societal issues on some of the things that are pressing and oppressing our young people. But we also have to take the responsibility of ourselves.
Girl, wait a minute. Hold on. I got to run around the studio. Somebody hold my mule, because the truth just spoke. The truth spoke. We have got to take responsibility for what's going on. You know, that's one of the reasons why I take this platform of this World Wide Web and the internet, to get the word out, to at least open up the dialogue. Let's be honest about what the issues are, and now we see what we're faced with. Now these are the steps that we're going to take to make sure that we can circumvent this situation. And the one thing we got to do, well, many things, is let these children know that they are valuable. Let them know that they deserve to be heard. Also, They deserve respect. They got to give respect, and you got to earn respect. You don't just come in and take it because you feel like it. You know, you said you're dealing with these. You would have thought that these child predators would, you know, just, I don't know, these young women are still dealing with rape and molestation and sexual abuse. And I was talking to one young lady. I think she's about 17 now. Her mother was pimping her out to her boyfriends. I mean, what does a child do with that? The things that people are, and the mother, you know, well, you know, I got to do this and I got to do that. Taking responsibility. In your opinion, where do we need to start, Shavonna?
Well, what I do with most of the young ladies that, for some reason, I've been getting a lot of molestation cases, is first we have to peel back the hurt, the anger, the frustration, and the anger. And one of the cases that I had to take one of the cases that I have to give you an example. The young lady, I met her, and we started talking. I knew something was wrong with her because of her actions, and sometimes the actions speak louder than words. And she told me she wanted to commit suicide. That's what happened. And I just, you know, dropped everything, went into detail, and she told me the story that she was molested by her mother's second husband. And she didn't want to tell her father, but she had to tell the father. The mother wanted her to be quiet. She didn't want her to say anything. She just wanted her to live with it and go to counseling. But, you know, I find it disturbing that even a mother that would suppress a child at such a vulnerable age, the selfishness, I'm just trying to deal with that itself.
Wait, Shavonna, wait a minute. Is this woman still married to this man who is molesting her daughter?
Well, no, because the daughter, we got her to tell the father. The father pressed charges.
Okay.
The stepfather is in jail. So now the mother is actively telling the other brothers and sisters to call her a slut whore and all that. She thought, this girl is very shapely, by the way. So, to get to the narrative of the story, the issue of, the molestation, it's hard to really, I have never had to deal with it. So, don't profess to be a professional on this particular matter. Mm-hmm. It's just heartbreaking when you have a 13, 14-year-old talking to you as an adult and a child who is going to therapy, and she, and as I'm talking to her and telling her that she's loved, that you are valuable, and that everything about you is perfect. And sometimes we have to go through situations we don't understand why, but you need to understand that you are significant. You were born for a reason. You were given breath for a reason. You were given life. And somehow through all the sadness that you're going through, you have to find what is going to work for you. And, she just cried, and I couldn't understand why. She says, nobody's ever told me. That's not even your therapist. So we had to get her a whole new therapist, because some people, they're just not connecting. And the bottom line is, with the molestation is, I just couldn't understand. I really can't answer that, because I don't understand how, in a mother's mind, how you can choose your man over your child.
And I have seen it repeatedly. I have seen it over and over again. I remember a woman, I was talking to a young girl, she was about 15 or 16. Her father, her biological father, had started molesting her when she was 13. When her breast came out and she started to develop like a woman, she's still a child. Her father is sexually molesting her on a regular basis. She's going to school, she started acting out. Shavonna, she fighting with the kids, she fighting with the teachers, the whole thing. And everybody, her whole personality changed. She went to tell her grandmother, what was going on. The grandmother had pressed charges against her son-in-law. The mother got mad and put the child out in the street. Told her, you broke up our family. You should have just did what he wanted you to do. And I was like, this happened like 15-something years ago, and I'm still ticked off. If I saw that chick on the street, I'd probably hit her with a stick. I could not imagine a mother. You have sons. You're somebody's mother. I have a son. I couldn't imagine me taking precedent over my child, and especially in something as horrific as this that stays with you all your life. All you do is you learn how to deal with it. You learn how to cope with it. It never goes away. It just never goes away. On the phone with me is the CEO of YRAP, Young Women. Say it for me, Shavonna.
Young Women Rising Above Perception.
Young Women Rising Above Perception. She's the CEO and the founder of the Whitney E. Johnson Foundation. When we come back, we're going to find out who Whitney E. Johnson is. We're going to talk about talk all about us, Teen Talk Television, which I think is just absolutely wonderful. We talk about the magazine and all about you. Shavonna Johnson is up there in Long Island, New York, getting the young people together. And we will be back after these messages.